It is finished. All right, I'm going to do this review before the review of tonight's games because this one started hours before all the evening games I haven't reviewed yet. So I'm reviewing this first. All right, so let's get into this. The NHL knew before the game started they were going to have problems with the ice. And they sat down and they said, all right, we're going to have problems with the ice. It's too sunny out there. The ice could potentially melt. It could be dangerous. They talked to both teams, apparently. Team said, well, all right, we'll see what happens. They got through the first period. There were guys falling down at center ice, referee, players. Obviously, there were concerns being objected about broken feet, broken ankles, and anything else that might happen. But the NHL felt it was really, really important. They've spent a lot of money on this setup at Lake Tahoe to get those shots, get those beautiful images of players with the lake in the background and the mountains in the background, and get that done. Get that on TV. Spent a lot of money on this. And it's working. Tomorrow there's a news of the day video, and the US TV agreement is almost set, and apparently it's going to be a good one. So for fans who are kind of on the fence about who they'd like to see carry the NHL games, apparently ESPN's in on it. So this is game number 250 for the Vegas Golden Knights. You'll notice I used the Nordiques logo, which yes, people pointed this out on both Twitter and on Instagram, and if you put it sideways, it kind of looks like a question mark. I have no idea. Hypnotoad's there because they started this for US TV audience, and we must all say, all hail, no problem. And Gary Bettman said the sun is the enemy of the NHL. Basically, that the sun is the enemy of the NHL. And all I could think of was Mr. Burns and the sun blocker. And I thought, somewhere Mr. Burns would be saying, I have the perfect thing to fix this problem for you. Of course, then owls will deafen us with their incessant hooting. But hey, this. So I got to use a couple of magnets today. I have not had a reason to use on a board in a long time. This shows how many magnets I have that sit in baskets and wherever around this room that I'm like, someday I may need these. I order them, I make them, and then I'm like, someday I may need it. So here we are. First period, Fleury versus Grubauer. Sunshine would be a challenge for the goalies in the first. The idea being players would shoot from almost anywhere and be hard for goalies to see. At one point, they showed Grubauer had sunglasses on. But as Boucher mentioned, and right up front, kudos to the entire broadcast team for this entire broadcast. Fantastic job. They sent the A team there and they did very, very well. But they showed Grubauer sunglasses and he said the problem is that you're going to get snow, and you can't just keep lifting your mask. You don't have a way to clean them. So while sunglasses would seem like a great idea, to no. Early chances for the Avs and they would take advantage. It's Girard scoring from McKinnon and Rantanen at 2 minutes and 58 seconds, which was about 10 hours ago. It was a 5-hole goal on Fleury. And to me, it seemed like maybe Fleury wasn't quite Fleury in this game, right? So the shots were 4-0 for the Avs at 4 minutes. Fleury was not picking up the puck very well. There were a couple of plays there where he was having a hard time with it. But as I said, everybody was going to have a hard time with the ice, and picking up anything in this game is going to be very difficult. Strong first half for the Avs. I think it was the most beautiful outdoor game ever. I honestly mean that. I think this was absolutely breathtaking and, of course, almost ankle-breaking, too. Rhymes, but not in a way that you want a poem. You don't want heartbreaking, ankle-breaking, or breathtaking, ankle-breaking. You don't want that to be in, like, a poem somebody gives. Like, you don't... Anyways, it's been a long day, so I apologize. I've been doing this for about 11 hours. The ice crew was definitely busy. Every break was taking longer. The ice crew was trying to fix the ice. They were out there for a while trying to fix the ice, doing the best they could. But this was bad. Like, this was to the point where players could just take their stick and just break the ice like that. Slush. So that's not a good thing. So that was going on. The shots were 7-2 for the Avs halfway through. Vegas gets chances with about 8 minutes left. Girard almost kicked one into his own net. The ice really, really bad and was getting worse. 3:57 left. Stone gets a 4-minute high stick. He would spend 7 hours in the penalty box because today was all about justice. Shorthanded 2-on-1 just missed, and then there's a too many men on the ice call, so it's a 5-on-3 for 1 minute and 24 seconds, or roughly 7 hours, whichever comes first. Fleury made some huge saves, denied the Abs top forwards, and then the notes change. And they change color on purpose, because time passes. Tomorrow's game may be moved to 4 Pacific, because the ice sucks, and of course now it shows 4:30, and that's Pacific. 7:30 Eastern. We'll see when it actually takes place. And I put this game may be over due to bad ice. I was basically putting notes down here just in case I had to do a this game's postponed, I don't know what to do with these notes kind of video. Endless intermission. It lasts about 9 hours. And they said it'll resume at 9 p.m. Pacific. And I put, geez, right next to that, like, awesome, great. Knowing what it would do to my upload times, which is fine. This is fine. I'd rather have hockey to cover than not. So that's why I'm okay with doing this review, the other review, and the power rankings after that. No problem. So Sportsnet, then Sportsnet made me laugh because then after this, they rebroadcast the first period right after announcing it was delayed. They're like, I don't know, let's fill in, I don't know, rebroadcast the first, but they just watched the first, but rebroadcast it. Who cares if they already watched it? Rebroadcast it. How many times? I don't know. 9? They didn't do it 9 times. They should have. They should have rebroadcast the first period 9 times. I put game is lit. Get it? Anyhow, yeah, Vegas killed the power play. Ice was not a slushy when we came back for the second period. Avs press at 3 minutes. There's a delay of game call. The Avs get a power play. Vegas killed that, but it was a good power play for Vegas. Vegas's fourth line was stirring things up. Carrier with a high hit on Landeskog. Landeskog didn't like that. But it built that momentum. It gave Vegas that energy that they needed in this. And then Martinez scores his first of the year from Pietrangelo and Smith at 7:37. And it was 9 hours to the second between goals. Between this one by Girard and this one by Martinez. 9 hours, 0 minutes, 0 seconds. They put that on TV, and I went, I'm putting that on the board. And there it is. Vegas pushed for the lead, and then there was a Jost penalty, and Stevenson takes the retaliation penalty. Stevenson was not happy with being called for the retaliation penalty because Vegas was going to get a power play. Instead, it's 4-on-4. Give some extra ice space to Mr. Nathan McKinnon, and he scores. So he scored in Vegas, now he scores in Tahoe. From Taves at 11 minutes and 18 seconds, and it was a snipe. Like, there was no chance for Fleury on that one. So that restores the lead for Colorado about 4 minutes after the game had been tied. Then there's a Byram turnover. Pacioretty had a chance that was stopped. Byram, rough game for him tonight. Overall, some prominent plays that were kind of rough for him tonight. Landeskog then hits the post. The Avs scored on a delayed penalty, or so it appeared. The weird thing is that it was the Avs that got the penalty, but I was pretty sure the Avs touched it after the referee's arm went up. Like, it looked to me like it was going to be a power play for the Avs, and then it was going to be offsetting because Donskoy was getting a goalie interference, but it was a Vegas power play. So, one of those things. I don't know. Then there was a delay to reset the clock. That didn't take 8 hours. I was like, they're trying to reset the clock. Are they going to come back in the morning after they reset it? I think they were using some kind of an abacus sundial setup, and of course the sundial's not going to work after dark, so hey, it was low tech tonight. The announcers were incredible. Have I said that enough? No. They were understandably silly about basically everything going on. They are likely, I don't know how much coffee they might have drank today, or maybe something else. Maybe, just maybe. But, yeah, they didn't seem to be feeling any pain out there in the cold today. Goalie interference, even up. And I'm saying it's an even up because it was a iffy call. And it's odd that after one goalie interference call is made at one end, then there's a goalie interference call made at the other. I'm okay with that. Wes McCauley's the ref. He's fantastic, so I'll give him a bit of a break on this one, right? And then we get 31 seconds of 4-on-4, and then Burakovsky takes a high sticking call, so we end up with the penalties overlapping into the third period. The first 10 seconds of the third, the Avs are shorthanded. They kill that 10 seconds. But there was an early steal by Stone, and then he stole another one. You've really got to watch Stone. He is magnet on his stick to the puck, and they're yeah, it's fantastic the way that he can just steal the puck like that. At 1:59, Kadri takes a penalty. Vegas goes back to the power play, and again, the announcers are laughing at every play. They're making jokes after every play. They were making fun of Edzo. They were making fun of Boucher. I think one of my favorites was that during the delay here, they spent like 40 minutes. They were showing like you know, can he hit a golf shot, because they're on a golf course, and Boucher had been kind of left. He hadn't been asked a question about half an hour. So they say, "Hey, Bouch," and they asked him a question, and then they realized he wasn't at his post. He'd gone off to the beach. He'd given up. He was kind of like, "Oh, they're not talking to me," so you just put your headset down. I would have done the same thing. I'd just walk over here. It's a beautiful place. I might as well go walk around. Maybe I'll skip some stones. So it was just great. I can't say it enough. Then we get 1:22 of a 5-on-3, a delay of game penalty on Makar. The puck was off to the beach, as they said, and yeah, that puck was definitely on the beach. I don't know that any hit the lake. I like to think that at least one of them did. Great penalty killing by Graves. Ryan Graves, he may not be getting on the board with goals and assists, but man, the penalty killing there was great. He earned his paycheck there. So you go back to 5-on-5. Vegas would press at 7 minutes. Avs cleared it out, but there weren't very many second chances for Vegas. So Vegas is getting shots. They're not getting second chances. Makar was throwing some hits as well. Vegas pressures with 9 minutes left. Puck goes the other way. And Taves scores from McKinnon and Rantanen at 13-11. So this was kind of an out-of-nowhere goal that made it 3-1. And that's how the Avs roll. So about a minute and a half, not even that later, Tuck scores from White Cloud. And it was a nice backhand. It was a reverse spinorama kind of thing. But it went off Byram's stick and it went in the right bar down. So that's why I said Byram, prominent for poor reasons on his part. It's not it's kind of his fault. It's his stick, but still, just one of those unfortunate things for Byram. And the Avs were kind of hanging on after that goal. Like Vegas could smell blood in the water, and they were, well, not that they were skating on water. That was only in the first period. So the Avs hanging on. Fleury then stopped a Kadri chance. And play was really, really good back and forth. I can't say enough either how good the ice was in the second and third period of this game. The ice crew did have to come out and do some work here and there, but it was much, much smoother than anything we saw in the first period. Goalie pull with 1:30 left. Kadri missed the empty net, which I thought, boy, at least he didn't ice it. But at the same time, those empty net misses can come back to haunt you. Vegas takes a timeout with 9.6 seconds left. But with the 6-on-5, they weren't really taking enough shots. They really didn't take enough shots. And so they come back from the timeout, and they're not able to score. Colorado goes to 9-4-1. Vegas drops to 10-4-1. Both coaches were wearing fantastic jackets that I physically need to own. I even ran upstairs to tell Yvonne if she could get me the one in the style of Peter DeBoer's, I might never wear another jacket again. That would be my jacket for the rest of my life, because it was gorgeous. But the jackets the coaches wear, the leather sleeve jackets, I've always liked them since I was in middle school. So that's nothing really new there. So yeah, the Avs survived this one. They also mentioned at the end, and this was again kind of a funny moment, they said after these outdoor games, there will very often be a handshake line. This one, not so much. And I'm going to say straight out, not for COVID protocol reasons, but by the end of this game, these teams don't like each other at all. This is a really, really good rivalry, and it's not over yet. And I am excited that I get to watch these teams play each other a lot this year, and really, really hoping that we get to see them against each other in the playoffs, because this is going to be fantastic. So there you go. I don't have any of the stats on the board because I knew this video was going to be long enough as it was for one game, and it's worth it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section below regarding today's game. I will say I think the ratings are going to be great. It is too bad that it was on NBC Sportsnet and not the regular NBC channel for the second and third period. I feel bad for people to watch the first and couldn't see the second and third. The NHL did this for the ratings. They knew there could be some problems. And when Gary Bettman was just choked in between periods and he looked like a lumberjack that had just come out of the mountains and was kind of ticked off that they took his axe. It was as rustic a feel as I've ever had from Gary Bettman, and I could feel that anger he had towards the fact the clouds were everywhere except over the sun. That's how the sun works, though. I know that from experience. I know that from working with it here, where it'll be a relatively cloudy day, and then just right here, so there's enough glare on the board to screw up the camera. I know how that works. All right, taking enough time. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this game as much as I did. It is the most wild, wacky game I've ever seen. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing right through. You just happened upon this video, and hey, we survived this game. I will talk to you again soon.